Hi, and welcome. My name is Jean-Sébastien Floch. I'm a director at SAP in charge of market development for spend management. In today's session, we're going to discuss about this global pandemic and how it affects your supply chain and how we can help you mitigate risks during those unforeseen events. We will start with a brief understanding on the different industries and how they are affected. And then we'll give you hints on how we can support you in minimizing supply chain disruption, improving your cash conversion cycle, improving operating margin, as well as managing your workforce. Let's start.
As we are talking about this global crisis, here is where we are. Those numbers are from last week though, but we definitely see more than 2 million people that were infected by this COVID-19 virus, and more than 120,000 deaths related to that infection. Almost every country has been hit by this pandemic, and more than that, almost half of the people on Earth are instructed to stay at home. So when we are talking with our customers, and we've seen a lot of them in the last few weeks, what do they tell us? First, 90% of them tell us their supply chains have been directly hit by this coronavirus and is disrupted to various extent. And this is not really a surprise, as it all started in China, and a lot of companies are relying on parts and raw materials coming from this part of the world. Second thing which is quite concerning for everyone is that the global economy is now entering in a recession. The forecasted positive growth of GDPs is now expected to be negative all over the world. Interestingly, the third topic is related to contractual terms. Is this pandemic a force majeure? Can it be seen as an act of God? And if so, what would be the impacts on my contracts, both with my suppliers and my customers? One of the byproducts of this pandemic is also the huge drop in oil demand, resulting in the oil crisis we are all witnessing. With various forecasts ranging from a demand decrease of 6 to 9 million barrels per day of oil for the year 2020, with a peak of minus 25 million BPD in April, there's a clear explanation on why oil price decreased by 55% year to date. Last, when we are discussing with those companies, and this is probably the most frightening, 39% of them do not have any contingency planned. There's no plan B to make sure the factories will run despite all of those challenges. As we speak, we are in a very difficult situation. All the industries have been affected. If we talk about some industries like aviation, because of travel restriction, a lot of us are just grounded at home. We cannot travel for work, and we don't even know if we will be able to go back home for our summer holidays. And this has a major impact. IATA, the International Air Transport Association, just released a report last week showing that the COVID-19 crisis will see airline passenger revenue to drop by 314 billion USD in 2020. That's a 55% decline compared to last year. And we don't know how long it's going to last, but it will take at least 3 to 4 quarters before a recovery. Second industry that is highly impacted is oil and gas, mostly because of the demand-supply imbalance. And this is obviously impacted the oil price. And even with the recent OPEC Plus output cut agreement, many analysts think it will not be enough to curb the decrease on price, as the current stock levels are already so high. In mining and metals, we are seeing similar trends. The demand has come down significantly, and a lot of mining companies have either shut down completely or have reduced their operations. When it comes to automotive, demand is now close to zero, and several critical parts that are coming from China are also getting disrupted. The lead time is now typically extended by 8 to 12 weeks, and the path to recovery is not clear, but it's expected to be very, very slow. Last, if we talk about consumer products and retail, All the malls are closed wherever we are operating. There's almost no demand anymore for many categories. Still, there's a sudden surge for online retail, and we saw, for instance, companies like Amazon just hiring tens of thousands of temporary workers.
So let's have a look at the total value chain. As we discussed already, consumer demand is low, and it is only expected to recover once the lockdown will be lifted. This is something we know in China, for instance. I'm sure you all know this luxury brand Hermes. The day they could reopen in China, one of their boutiques recorded a record 2.7 million USD worth of sales. However, we know it will not apply to all the categories, and it will take some time before inventories are completely rotated. When it comes to logistics, the situation is still weird. Despite the oil prices hitting a 18 years minimum, price for marine shipment just increased dramatically over the last months. For instance, we see a hike of 52% in the Baltic Dry Index, which represents the average cost of marine shipping. Ports are also full of idle containers, which are hampering their operations. And all of that results in 8 to 10 weeks of delays for shipments. Last, regarding the supply, and because of the shutdown, at least 5 weeks of delays are happening, as operations for most of the factories were disrupted. And more than that, you are now competing with other customers to get your goods on time. This pressure results in a premium that you often have to pay. Now that we have discussed the context, we at SAP are convinced that procurement teams can save the day and keep the light on. That's something we already saw further to the financial crisis. Based on that, responding to the immediate challenge, we believe there are 4 ways in which you can actually keep the supply chain going, and we will detail them in the coming slides. In order to minimize supply chain disruption, we believe 2 types of actions are essential. First one is to continuously monitor the risk around your suppliers. And second one is to diversify your source of supply, probably making sure you have at least 2 sources for each of your critical categories, and even probably start to have local sources, as transportation could be a challenge in those times. We know we are entering a recession, and we know in this time cash is always the key. So it is critical to save every money you can. You don't want to be in a situation where your cash is impacted because there's a slow-moving item with excess inventory, and you are not able to turn that inventory and cash got stuck because of that. You have to streamline your process and build multi-echelon stock. You also need to know your supplier, not only your own suppliers, but also tier 2, tier 3, and so on. Next one is improvement in the operating margin. As I mentioned, a lot of you have negotiated your contracts when the oil price was around 60 USD at least, whereas today, barrel price is less than half of it. So we see a lot of contracts will be renegotiated, probably around 30% of them. Some of them will even be frozen, and probably a lot of contracts will be terminated as well, if it is unnecessary spend for the organization. Lastly, it's also about signing those contracts, especially in this remote environment where business continuity stays critical. Last but not least is workforce management. And it is critical, as in lots of industries, it's not the material which is the highest spend area, it's the services. So you are dealing with people, and you are dealing with people in a remote environment, when some of them need to be on site for mission critical tasks, and you need to monitor those people as well. So let's go in a bit more details and show how our solutions can help you achieve your goals. When it comes to minimizing supply chain disruption, one of the things we just mentioned is the capability to monitor risk continuously. COVID-19 first incident took place somewhere in December 2019, and then there was an exponential impact. But who took action when he first heard about COVID-19? Probably a lot of you started to take action in February, or maybe even end of Jan. And that's probably because for many of you, it was difficult to understand the impact this event will have on your supply chain. What if you had an instrument that will give you the intelligence on this is what is happening in Wuhan? If you have a lot of your supplier base out of Wuhan, you can take mitigating actions. And this is where supplier risk becomes critical. Be it for financial risk, be it for pandemic or natural disaster risk, you should have the capability as a buyer to take an action once we get this information from external data sources. So, our solutions have the capability to source this critical data from various international sites and tell exactly this supplier is getting impacted, so you can take mitigating action. We will show you more during the demonstration in the next session. Second, as we discussed, it may be high time for your organization to find new suppliers, at least for your critical categories. I believe this will be one of the lessons learned with this COVID-19. You need to be resilient, and you need to identify your single points of failure proactively and treat them. However, how to find new supplier is definitely not as easy as it looks. Where to start? Google? It will probably be a nightmare to start like that. And this is where, again, we can help. Why not taking advantage of Ariba Network? Ariba Network is the largest business network where we see transacting every year more than 3 trillion of USD with over 4 million of suppliers. And to make things easier in those difficult days, we have opened it for all of you. You being an Ariba customer or not an Ariba customer, it does not matter. You just need to register at myariba.com/discovery. And for the next 90 days, it is absolutely free. If you have a critical category where you need additional supplier, just put your request under Ariba Discovery, and you will find those suppliers. Now, let's talk about the cash conversion cycle and how we can improve it. We are now discussing how to reduce the amount of time capital is tied up in the buying, production, and sales process before it is converted into cash received. This is critical, not only because it's about your one suppliers, but it's also about your multi-tier supplier, be it for forecast collaboration, inventory collaboration, or even collaboration on invoice. Ariba currently supports 28 different types of collaborations. And this is key, because better collaboration with your trading partner will definitely help reach the extra mile and ultimately save some money. When it comes to collaboration, how many of you just realize that they will not get an expected delivery only when it's too late? What if you could share automatically your production forecast with your suppliers? And what if they could confirm or not those forecasts, giving you enough time to find an alternate source in case they just cannot supply the quantity you require? What if you could streamline supplier managed inventory and use replenishment order in order to achieve optimal inventory? Would that free up some working capital? Answer is yes, and this is what we offer. On average, we see our customers using those capabilities to reduce their DIO by 12% and increase their DPO by 32%, which has a significant positive impact on their working capital. Let's talk now on how we can help improving your operating margin. As discussed already, economic conditions changed drastically this year. Looking at energy, oil price has been more than halved. When it comes to commodities, non-precious metals like copper saw a price decrease by 20% year to date. So it's definitely a good time to review your contracts and have that discussion with your suppliers. On certain categories though, there is too much tension and negotiation will not be possible. However, you will find a lot of opportunities to save the day by delivering spend reductions that could avoid painful layoffs and help your company weather the storm. Once you've identified those categories, you can leverage advanced RFPs and auction capabilities of Ariba
in order to renegotiate your contractual terms with your current suppliers or even new suppliers you found on Ariba Discovery. This is exactly the approach one of our key regional customers took further to the 2008 financial crisis. Optimized cost was no longer an option for them. They decided to centralize the procurement function in order to leverage demand across the group and get better discount at their supplier, as well as gain efficiency. They also ran a lot of e-auctions in the categories where it would apply, resulting in an annual saving of $35 million USD. Last, they deployed catalogs in order to streamline the P2O process and reduce massively Maverick spending. But now you're done with your negotiation. How will you get your contract signed? Do you need to go to the office to get the contract printed? Then courier it at your executive home for signature and expecting the same from your supplier? With the current lockdown, it may not be the most suitable option. This is where you need to leverage e-signature, and we have a solution for that, SAP Signature Management by DocuSign. Switching to e-signature will both simplify your process, reduce your internal cost, but will also allow you to execute your contract faster, while maintaining the highest level of compliance and auditability. From a business continuity perspective, it is also all about visibility of your workforce, be it with your employees or with your external workforce. With this global pandemic and the day-to-day dynamic nature of its impact, SAP Fieldglass can help ensure you are connected with your external workforce. You are able to ensure business continuity by monitoring external workers' activities, know where your entire workforce is located while you are working remotely, and ensure their activities are completed on time and with the agreed SLA. If you know your organization is running multiple projects, and for one of them which may be critical, you are running out of resources, whereas another project may be overstaffed, you may want to have the ability to redeploy your workforce. But even before that, you need to know whether those people exist or not. Hence, business continuity with appropriate resource allocation becomes highly critical. For certain industries, and we mentioned Amazon earlier, they just hired tens of thousands of people over the last weeks. Now, it's about those needs, right? Those needs that will just come in, and you should have the ability to hire and onboard those resources quickly, and not waste 4 to 6 months just to hire such a resource, because it becomes extremely critical now. A lot of us are working in a project-based environment, and this is where every saving becomes critical, because we know a lot of our projects will be delayed because of remote working. And then we should have the ability to track the milestones are completed or not, and based on that, how we do improve the margin. And last but not least, the worker profile management. A lot of companies are introducing what is called the COVID-free certification workforce. If a worker is impacted by COVID-19, he should not be entering the site. Or if anyone is not carrying this certificate, he should not be able to enter. As a result of this, SAP Fieldglass allows you to track individual workers and help you know whether this person is free from COVID-19 or not. Based on that, he will be or not accepted on site.
Thanks for attending the session. I hope you could find it valuable and learn better how SAP can help you in these critical topics. Should you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to extend the discussion. In the next session, my colleague Nabil is going to run various demonstrations on the different solutions we discussed. Nabil, the floor is yours.